There it is.
I missed it. I missed it so much.
We're back. I don't have any Stanford gear yet, but Cenzo's got Stanford gear. I love it. Stanford Cenzo, how are you?
Other than I think I look pretty good in red or
You
cardinal.
do.
I'm sorry. I keep saying red. It's cardinal, but same thing. Nah, it's cool, man. I got a bunch of shirts and stuff like that. Maybe I'll send one your way.
Please do. Or
I will.
I'll raid like the gear room because I got to come out there soon. So I'll raid the gear room.
I won't look.
Okay, thank you.
So,
We're going to let
cool.
Eric Thompson join. Before he does, real quick, guys, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Attack, the app that's changing how wrestlers train. The app features state-of-the-art technology and a state-of-the-art user interface to allow you to train better, work harder, compete with your friends, teammates, even enemies. You can input your age and goals and all this stuff. They've got a new automatic scheduler feature that's sick. They've been stepping their game up, adding even more features. If you're following them on social, their content is killing it. They're giving recipe ideas, meal ideas. It's amazing. Go download the Attack app. It's ATAC. They're on social, atac.app or _app, depending on what app. But guys, Attack is seriously killing it. Nobody in wrestling is doing what they're doing. Go download Attack. I'm getting back into the mix of things. I was at the Four Seasons in Boston last week. Amazing gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, amazing gym. And I opened up the app.
Your Attack workouts?
Yeah. I figured out that I need to log my workouts, not just because they have great workouts you can do. But sometimes if I'm just going to go hop on a Peloton ride for 30 minutes, I just want to add, hey, I did 9 miles, this calories, and you can just log it. You don't have to do a workout, which is cool.
And I mean, you said that there's no other app like it, and there really isn't. There's people that are trying to replicate something like it, but it's not really close to being the same.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing like it, and it's only going to continue to get better. I heard through the grapevine, don't tell anybody, but I heard through the grapevine they're going to do some kind of contest with some athletes. So I think it's going to be super cool.
Can I partake?
Yeah, you can.
I like contests.
Yeah, this is a really cool. Once we finish with this, I'm going to tell you about the contest details.
All right, I won't tell anybody.
Otherwise, people would think we're going to rig it if I tell you on air. People are very skeptical on the internet.
I wonder why.
All right, let's get this golden bear in here.
Yes.
Super, super pumped to have Eric join the show today.
I need my gold bear fix. It's been a while.
I know. He's definitely a warm touch when I get to State College.
Yeah.
He's like a staple. There he is.
What's up, nerds?
What's up, dude?
Hey, we're live. You can't be calling us nerds on air.
Okay.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I can't complain.
Okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good.
I just saw a bunch of baby fish in the pond, so the fish are healthy. They're breeding, so I got nothing to complain about.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's always like you do something like that and it like works out. You're like, yes.
Right. Speaking of doing things and it working out, I haven't said it on the podcast, and I realized that last episode, but my wife is pregnant and we are having a boy.
Oh, let's go. Congrats, brother.
Thank you. So I'm super pumped. It was crazy in July because she was super sick for a couple weeks, and that's part of the reason, along with Cenzo moving to California. Like, it was really hard to do a couple episodes, but I think everything's back to normal now. She's feeling better. I'm super excited. I'm glad we found out right away it's a boy. I'm not a fan of gender reveal parties. People that like them, right. I don't blame them. If you like surprises with people, right up your alley.
Is he going to be a pop sensation also because he's baby Bash?
I think the fans have to decide that.
That'll be up to the fans.
Yeah.
I think you push him in that direction and then just kind of see what happens.
I'm curious if there's going to be hype that, like, if he's wants to wrestle or do sports, that he's going to be good, because I do have quite a few decent wrestlers around that could technically train him.
You know a few. So,
right.
A couple.
Yeah, you know a few.
Yeah. So
that's exciting, man.
Yeah, it's super exciting. We've been trying for a while. We unfortunately had a miscarriage a year and a half ago, which my heart's always out for people who go through that. So to go through that sucked. But we're feeling good now. We're 15 weeks. Something like that.
You guys are in the middle of it, man. we're too deep over here. It gets wild, man. Heads up.
I'm waiting for a kid to crawl in the background on the shelf. Like you just start seeing it. Like,
is the crewman going to make an appearance?
It's possible. Right now he's in his crib wrestling puppy. So we've been watching too much wrestling. It's the situation we're dealing with. He's just chilling in there wrestling. So I'm like, it's my wife's birthday too. So I'm like, are you going to get home soon?
Happy birthday, Sarah.
Happy birthday, Sarah. Thank you for taking the time to do the podcast with us. We really wanted to, there's so much.
We really wanted to have someone else on, but you know, you were kind of just a good last option. Yeah, you were just a really, really good last option. You know, we couldn't get the other multiple people that we wanted.
And
so
because
we had to settle.
Yeah. And we wanted to make sure that we found someone with bias as we're talking about the Olympics. David Taylor just wrestled. So, you know, we're very biased here on this show. So to continue that trend, we wanted to get someone with bias.
Right. So speaking of David Taylor, you know, what do you think about that guy?
What a sicko, dude. What a sicko. You imagine wrestling that hard? Like I honestly, like, in my brain, I was always like, just wrestle harder. Just like, do it. And he's like doing what I wish my brain would have let my body do. And
that's perfectly put.
I was thinking of, I'm curious of both of your opinions on that. Like his gas tank in the second period is just stupid. It's like he walked into a wrestling room and he's wrestling a guy who's been practicing JV for 3 hours. Like just tired, beat up, not that great. Like he looks that good. Like it doesn't make sense.
He just gets better as the match goes on, and a lot of people can't keep up with that pace. I saw Martinez put on Twitter that he goes, I know it's been said a million times, but David Taylor's pace is super unforgiving. And it is. Like, if you try to match that pace, I've tried to match that pace in practice matches before, and it just doesn't work out.
It's just like, it's insane, right? I mean, just to have someone who he never creates enough wrestling. Right, he can never create enough wrestling positions that if you engage in that, like you engage in that wrestling position all the time with him, not only are you going to probably not win because he's technically advanced in there, but also you're going to get tired, and then you're going to stand up to your feet and you're like, okay, well, he's going to grab me again. I went out of bounds. Luckily, I only gave up one, but we're coming right back to the center, and this dude didn't even let me touch the circle in the middle.
And Burroughs said that doing commentary, like he's like, one of the most dangerous things about David Taylor is he never stops wrestling. Like he has the definition of chain wrestling. He will just not stop. And that's exhausting because there's no breaks. There's no like find a hole and attack. Like he just doesn't stop the entire time.
Yeah. And those exchanges, you know, too, he just like, sometimes I've heard him say this before, you know, sometimes you just got to say screw technique, throw yourself in on a leg, and then make some action happen. And that's what he's really good at. And once he gets into, he's such a good finisher. He's such a good scrambler that he's able to win those positions and get his opponent tired. So it's just a win-win.
Yeah, that's like part of it, right? Like if he gives up a takedown, it really doesn't matter, right? Because you're going to have to work so hard to get that takedown that by the time you get there, it's just like, was it worth it? Right? You saw Nolf do it in college too. Like Nolf would give up like 2-3 takedowns, but you figure at that point it's like one plus one, right? They end up with +1, and is in all that work you just put in to get that takedown, was it worth +1? Like really?
No.
And I feel like David's whole mantra too has been like, you know, we're gonna hang the first period, do what you want, and then I'm gonna blow you out of the water in the second period, which is how he beat Donnie last time. He was down 6-2 at the break. And then I don't know if Donnie tired himself out or what, but David just broke him and then just annihilated him in the second period.
I think this is going to be a good match. Donnie's look great, I think. But both of them just kind of rolled to the finals. Could you imagine just like getting to the finals, like just of the Olympics, like that easily? You know what I mean?
Isn't that crazy? Like they just like, it was like a formality a little bit. Obviously they both work hard in those matches. Like you can obviously lose those. And Donnie was in a little bit of a battle with that Russian.
Right.
But still he was never it was never a contention thing, right? It was never like, I might lose, like just a formality to wrestle those matches so they can fight each other.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
It's wild. And I tweeted out last night or maybe this morning, like if David beats Donnie for the third time, Donnie the Greatest nickname has to stop. Like if David beats you 3 times, like he's now David the Greatest. Like this is the WWE style match. The nickname's on the line.
Nicknames on the line. I like that. Loser leaves town.
Right.
This is an absolute loser leaves town match right here.
Right. This is like, and I know that John Smith said in the commentary last night, like, it looks like his Donnie's conserving energy a little bit. Like, he's very aggressive, and he wasn't being as aggressive as he could be. So it's almost like he's trying to conserve as much as possible. Like, he's toying with these guys. Like, he was up 9-2, and he just kind of,
shut it down.
Right. And there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Like, Yaz Donnie is just, if he gets in that game with David of like, if it's a who's tougher contest, David's gonna win. I mean,
right.
I mean, obviously bias, right?
No,
I think David,
that's what this show is all about.
No,
right?
Shocking. Yeah,
full bias, right? My boss, one of my best friends, like, he is gonna rag all this, dude, and I am so excited to freaking watch, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm hype also. So we could talk about our guy Thomas a little bit too.
That was a heartbreak of a loss.
That was so heartbreaking. I think he looked so good, man. He wrestled awesome. And, it sucked that we kind of had to root for the Russian after that. But luckily, he pulled our boy Gilman back in. And, he is a real, shot to get a medal here.
Yugoyev, what a freaking dog, dude. What a dog.
Yeah, he scored at will. Just like, okay, I got to score real quick. Done.
Crazy. That is crazy. Like the like, obviously staying up and then watching him wrestle the Abdullayev. That dude's really good too. And that inside trip at the end, he goes left-handed duck, and the guy starts stepping around back. Like, he covered so much ground on that inside trip and like bang right to his back. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah, I gave it the chef's kiss. That was a great
beautiful.
That was a great trip. I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, it's hard to root for, but man, like, he's good and he gets it done when he has to. And now our boy Thomas has a shot to get a medal. So I'm pumped about that. I'm still kind of sick over his match, but live to fight another day.
I know. I just obviously those dudes have so many tricks, right? Those Russians, like, it's just like tricky. It's different and stuff, but I really thought they would blow that up.
I really did too.
Like, right, because there was like 15 seconds left and they got in the position. I thought maybe like 10 seconds left, they'd blow it back up, and then they let it keep going and like, obviously 15 seconds is that long, but it is that long in one of those matches.
If their positions are reversed, does it get blown up? 100%.
100%. I mean,
100%.
That's how it goes though, man. It's like, in that, I just, like, it almost seems like, I mean, we lose our referee, so we have no American referees really, right, over there.
I don't know.
Zach, or what's Sammy Julian tested positive, and it's like, I feel like our referees call everything so neutral, and then theirs call it so differently, and it's just like different styles of wrestling, so they're used to seeing some of those positions maybe, and they just call it differently. Right,
and like, it's the 57 kilo, like, Yugayev, I'm not 100% sure if I'm saying his name correctly, but he, the refs know, if you've been successful at that level for, a certain period of time, like, the refs know where you're good at, right? So they're like, he's good at finishing shots here. They're going to give him extra time to finish, type of thing.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like in some scramble positions with Americans, they let it go a little bit longer, maybe like a pop-up position. Right. And like, where like overseas, they'll kind of blow that dead a little bit more, thinking out loud about it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they always let David finish in that position. But if like they're refereeing Russian nationals or something, they won't. They'll sit and hold and won't try and finish from there so much.
Interesting. I haven't watched a ton of that.
Speaking of referee calls, what did you guys think of the passivity calls in Helen's match? Obviously, two studs, right? I mean, the girl that, for those that don't know, because it seems like a lot of people didn't, the girl Helen lost 2-1 to, all 3 points were passivity points. She's like 4-time world champ. She won the Olympics in 2016, then won Worlds 17, 18, 19. So she's a hammer. But what did you guys think of the refs calling that?
I thought it was a battle. I thought that she held center very well, and that was kind of, I don't want to say she was pushing Helen around, but maybe a little bit. Helen was trying to work her offense as well, but she just really couldn't get to a lot of it. I think it just comes back to holding center.
Yeah, I mean, if there's not like a ton of offense one way or the other, then like it's like almost feels like a list, right? If you're not a person who's shooting a lot, then you need to be the person holding the center. And like, they'll go down that list and kind of like you get down to it and it's so ticky tacky almost to like call somebody just for having their butt in the center as opposed to like just being a little bit off center. And if you're controlling that situation a little bit, that's just kind of how it's going to go. I was thinking about like the times I've seen people get put on the clock twice, and I literally only remember your match at the trials.
I was taking a lot of shots, so
yeah.
I'm still a little bitter about that.
It's arbitrary a little bit, right? It's like you kind of like if you're not gonna score, then you're kind of coin flipping it a little bit, right? And not like that's not like a knock on Helen, right? Because obviously that girl's incredible too.
They're both awesome athletes, and I think Helen's gonna get it done her next match. I really do. And I'm excited for her. I'm excited to watch. And freaking, if you get to wrestle for an Olympic medal, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if both the girl who beat Helen and Ugaev both win the Olympics. I wouldn't be surprised that either both of those are the only losses.
Neither would I. I wouldn't be shocked either. But we got some good, good action coming up today. I think the 74 weight class is insane.
And that bracket's insane too. I don't know. I mean, I get like the idea that seating is like awesome and stuff, but we kind of like, especially COVID times, right? We're not traveling overseas. So it makes it really hard to compete in that stuff. I think we get back to normal and guys are able to go to some of those overseas tournaments, like that will make more sense coming up, right? Because we'll be like, if we can go compete at those all the time, then it makes more sense. But at the same time, it's hard, right? It's like
my wife was asking me last night, like she follows wrestling a little bit. She's like, "How is Micic the 1 seed?" And I'm like, "It was a very weird year for."
He looked off, by the way, the whole match.
He did not look himself.
And he got rocked in the head at one point too.
Yeah, he did not look. I don't know if it's the weight.
You gotta feel for the guy.
I don't know if the weight cut maybe was too much. I don't know.
But he's been wrestling well at that weight class. Maybe he's been wrestling at plus 2 kilos or something. But he did all the qualifying tournaments and looked great at him. And then he wrestled Takahashi, who's a freaking monster too.
Stud.
But absolute monster. He's beat a few of our guys over the past years, but I thought that he just didn't quite look himself.
Speaking of monsters, Tamara Mensah-Stock, which was the American that was the biggest favorite to win out of any American was her. And I think if you watch that, you see why. Like,
there's a reason why. Yeah, she's awesome.
I mean, her shots are like, she does such a good job. I don't think she got extended like at all, right? When she shoots in, she's like tight. She's finishing correctly, and it's like, it's crazy. It's really high level stuff, and she looked terrific, man. And it's awesome that she's getting all the attention she gets because
I love
people love it, dude.
Yeah,
people are loving it, and they should, right? She's passionate and she's really, really kind, and she deserves that attention after doing what she did. And our sport doesn't get it enough, but they should.
Yeah, I love it. I was just about to tweet out before we hopped on here that after 2016, we built Helen's website, and her logo is basically like God, country, family, I think, underneath it. And like that's basically what Tamara is out there preaching right now, which is so great because it brings so much good energy to the sport, where a lot of times with news, like drama lures people into a sport and it's negative. To see that positive light, like last night had Fox News on, she was on. Just now, I forgot what was on. She was like, she's everywhere. I just saw somebody posted an interview on Today's Show with her. Like, she is such a great ambassador, like personally for the sport.
Heck yeah.
While also being pound for pound one of the best females in the world right now.
Oh, she got to be up there for sure towards the top. And I've never personally met her, but she seems like an awesome person just all the way around.
I wish you did, because we need an in. We got to get her on the show. So,
yeah. Well, that would have been number 1. And then we had to trickle down to like 12 and settle for Goldilocks. But
I accept. Yeah. I mean, I think her matches were terrific. She beat people up and she was wrestling insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Her trajectory. Did you see she didn't qualify the weight in 2016. So she didn't get to compete. And then it was like bronze, gold, Olympic champion. Like
Yeah.
that's insane.
She's gonna keep getting better too. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're at her weight, which by the way, like already now, anybody at her weight, Adeline's weight, David's weight, the world team trial field is getting smaller because these people who medal automatically have the world team spot. So those weights are not going to be contested at the world team trials next month. So it's like already now, if you're an 86 kilo guy, your options are go 79.92 or stay home. Like it's interesting as this, like if Gilman wins a bronze medal, there's no 57. You go up to 61 or you stay home. It's very interesting. Like my wife asked me if I was going to the world team trials. And I'm like, honestly, I'll let you know this weekend. Like once I see what weights are being contested.
Hey, that's the weekend of the Bill Steelers game.
Oh, it is the 12th. I'm not going. Yep.
Yeah. I just found out today that they're the same.
So, guys, if you're wondering if Cenzo's going to the world team trials, he is not. Bill Steelers in Buffalo. It's going to be rowdy. Hey,
We'll see.
Yeah, we're trying to make it happen. Real quick, there's more Olympic coverage, but I haven't had Cenzo here for a while. Cenzo, we got to tell people about him.
Oh, wait. Do you have the ad up right now? Because I do not.
I do, and I'm going to tell people.
Yeah, you can tell them because I need to dig for this quick.
Summer is here, and much like Goldie Bear, we're all unveiling our beach pods. You need to make sure you're groomed. Look at that. I'm not going to embarrass myself, but
wow. Roll those sleeves up, dog. Roll them up.
That's asking for too much. So you cannot groom yourself without Manscaped. Now, Eric, I don't know if you have one of these.
I am going to order one as soon as we get off the pod.
So
okay,
they just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0, which it has this little LED light. It has all these, adjustment tools, everything. You can also get a weed whacker. I've got one right here. If your ears, nose, anything gets a little rough, just boop, boop, boop. Sits on a charger. These things are awesome. They're waterproof. They give you a little bag, goes in. Cenzo swears by the boxers. I actually lost them, but I just found them. They're incredible.
I swear by the boxers.
They're really good. So, and you can go to manscaped.com. What's the promo code?
It's Cenzo. 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 No H in that.
CENZO. Promo code Cenzo. Save 20% off and get free shipping anywhere you are. So go get a Lawnmower 4.0. Get a weed whacker, they're called. They're just good, especially like you're a wrestler. Throw it in your bag. Yeah. Whack your weeds, throw it in your bag. Manscaped rocks. So go support them.
They should have Manscaped rocks.
They should.
Like they should have actual rocks.
And that should be a shirt.
That's it.
With it 2 rocks.
It says Manscaped rocks on
with
the
2 rocks.
Or the shirt with 2 rocks. That's cool too.
So I'm waiting to buy one. We were getting our bathroom done. I'm like, Cenzo, when's the 4.0 come out? When's the 4.0?
I said, and then
I asked him too many times and he moved to California. So
that's a big problem.
Yeah, you're just up my butt about it too much. So I had to split
town. To get out of town.
I had to get out.
Well, I understand why you wanted to wait for the 4.0 with the 4000K LED light, waterproof, everything. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So go to manscaped.com, promo code Cenzo. So back to the Olympics. Adeline Gray, I believe she got her 8th medal, which is pretty dang impressive out of the 9 years.
That's not bad.
Out of 9 years competing, she's medaled in 8 World and Olympic Championships. And I think my favorite thing about that was literally Fox News has Tamara on the TV right now, praised for U.S. pride. Amazing. I love Adeline's post-match speech. Did you guys catch that?
I did not.
So she comes out after losing in the finals it was a great match. She just got out wrestled. It was just a great match. I don't think she really did anything wrong. And she came out and right away, she was just like being an inspiration, wanted to encourage other people, was expressing more gratitude for being there. Like you're seeing Olympians and I can't imagine where it's like, you're the pinnacle. Everybody's talking about you. You are what's hot. You are what's trending. And then you can just fall off. And there's so much pressure. You're seeing Simone Biles take, an event off because the pressure's mounting. And
she came back.
She came back and she looks awesome. So did Sydney McLaughlin. I think I'm saying her name right.
Sarah
Said,
McLaughlin.
no,
She's a
that's
singer.
that's the ASPCA. Sydney set a new world record in the 400-meter. Amazing. But Adeline to come out and like have that proper perspective, just gratitude for winning an Olympic medal, which is amazing. Like to get a silver medal, it sucks that you lost, but it's still such an accomplishment. Like that speech was awesome. And she looked good on the mat.
Yeah, she carries herself like a champ, you know. She does an awesome job at that. And you know, I'm sure she's going to go into coaching, and she's probably going to be phenomenal at that too. So
yeah, I mean, the right perspective changes the situation you're in, right? Like if you're excited and feel grateful to be there, then good things are only going to happen, right? Because no matter the outcome, you're going to win.
Yeah, and it's interesting because as our women's freestyle team is so good, you figure out we already have a gold and a silver. Helen's wrestling for a bronze. I have faith that she's going to get that. And we still have Jacarra to go. We still have Sarah Hildebrandt to go. Kayla Miracle didn't do so good, but both Sarah and Jacarra, I think, are going to kill it. And as these women start to retire and coach, the next generation coming up, there's already so many studs. Like to now, on top of that, have these coaches, I think it's the future of women's wrestling in the United States is wild.
Yeah, I mean, even like, not even just the United States, like watching back, I was watching some of the matches just even from 2016, like women's wrestling in general, like it's still only 30 years old. Like one of my friends said that to me and I'm like, that's a great point. Like, I'm sure women have been wrestling longer than that, but you know, competition wise, you know, like truly training and like trying to focus on getting better. And then, so like the trajectory of it, it's crazy. I mean, so like the pace they're on, especially the American women, just the skills and stuff that they're gaining every year, every month, you know, it's insane. You know, you're starting to see girls that have wrestled their entire lives. You know, Sarah Hildebrandt's been wrestling forever.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like you said, like women's wrestling as a whole is growing so much that even when there's a great match, it's not US women. I'm watching some of these matches because there's such high level wrestling. It's so entertaining. Some of the women's matches are better than some of the men's matches. Like it is growing as a whole, which is awesome. Kind of contrary to that, we have our Greco team, which went like a combined, I don't know, 1-4. Didn't look good. I'm curious what you guys think. You're both in coaching positions now. You know, I think America probably struggles because our kids start with folk style. They want to be state champions. They want to be NCAA champions. What do you guys think America can do to be better at Greco? We're like nowhere on the radar, like nowhere.
I watch Greco. Like I watch, you know, I've been watching the Olympics.
Lopez is the GOAT, by the way.
He's gigantic. Also.
Superhuman.
He's just huge. I've just been watching other countries wrestle Greco, and they just approach it so much differently than I think we do. And that's just you know, outside looking in. I don't know much about Greco at all. But it looks almost like a different sport, really. I mean, it's still wrestling, but like their movement, the way that they approach the match just looks different to me. And I think it's just hard for us because, you know, we grow up shooting the legs and stuff like that. And a lot of those Greco guys have probably never done that. So they don't have to break those habits, and they don't have to, you know, work on something new whenever they turn 23 or whatever. Like it is like they've been doing it forever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, you know, couple time Fargo All-American is about all I got. So I don't really know anything about Greco.
But that even a Fargo All-American and Greco, like in the, you know, grand scheme of things internationally, that's nothing. You know,
it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, I came in second at cadets in Greco at Fargo, and I know nothing about it. Like you just kind of go wrestle and hand fight. That's really it. That's all we do in America.
Tried to pull people underneath of me and then get on top, and I try and gut wrench them. I mean, which like in the basis is Greco, right? Like, I mean, I feel like there's throws, but they generally happen from top. And I think Greco, you know, the rule set being changed all the time is not helpful to us, because then American referees call it much differently. Like I felt like when I was watching Greco, they were calling, you know, for like a knee block, taking somebody over your knee when they'd post, like that it just makes it difficult for our referees to stay up on it. to call it correctly when we're wrestling tournaments in the US, and then, all those things. So it is, I mean, I think some of those guys can wrestle really well. Like our Americans, like D'Angelo Hancock. Like
I think he's great. I think he's great.
He's really
I think he's great. I think they mismanaged that match a little bit. And he kind of blew his load looking for a push out that he ended up getting pushed out on, and then that was kind of it. But man, he was inches away from advancing.
I don't know. And I think I think sometimes too, like our guys are in close matches too. So it's not like they're, if you look at it like 1-4, like, yeah, but the Olympics is such a thin margin of victory and loss, right? So I don't think they're as far away as we think, but I don't know how close they are. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I don't know what has to change to get better at it, because I know so little, right?
Yeah,
I wrestled improviser, and
I got my butt kicked by Ben Provisor quite a few times. Yeah.
It also doesn't help that our best Greco guy, I think, Kamal Bey, wasn't there. Like, he brings another level. I think he's one of our best Greco guys.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I mean, I think we just need more time. I think those guys, another cycle, and who knows, they could be right there with the best. You really no idea.
Eric, on a completely different note, did John Reeder really FaceTime you with 4 miles to go?
He absolutely did. It was so funny, dude. I'm like, because we were in Budapest.
Hold on, real quick. For people that don't know, John Reeder and Bono ran like 100-mile marathon or something. 100 miles.
Like 100 miles, dude. And I'm like, so we're in Budapest, right? And he's like telling me about it, and I'm just like, I just can't think of anything in my life or in my brain that would possess me to think like,
this is a good idea.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And I'll do some like wild stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'll sit in the sauna for a crazy long time. I'll wrestle for hours. Like, I'll
sit in the sauna all day.
All day. But I am not going 100 miles. I'm just thinking about, like, from a situational standpoint of like my body type, the chase situation could be very problematic for me.
Oh yeah.
Just so much pain.
Dude, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to walk for at least a week.
No, and just awake for 30 hours straight. Like, pass, Reader, you psycho.
Yeah, I don't exactly. I don't even want to be awake for that long, let alone be on my feet, let alone be running.
What did he say when he's FaceTiming you?
He's like, "What's up, brother? I'm out here." Reader.
Yeah, like, high energy.
Yep. And he's like, "Give me something. Give me something." So I just started like hyping him up a little bit, and he's like, "This is way harder than I thought it was gonna be." I'm like,
"Oh, do you think it was gonna be not that hard?"
I don't know that. I mean, like, you're going into a workout and you like tell yourself like, this is how hard it's going to be. Like, if you know what it is, like a stadium workout, right? You're like, this is going to be really hard. I can kind of wrap my mind around it. Like, I don't think in any situation I could wrap my mind around 100 miles, but I think he tried to, and then it's like, oh, this is super real. Dude, that's a nightmare factory. Just trying to run that, like, go that far. And they were like walking, you walk some of it and then you run some of it, and then you have to eat so much. And then, like, he told me when they're like, it's every like so many miles, there's a doctor to do a physical or something or check you out. And if you have anything, they just immediately pull you out. So he's like, you just got to beat the doctor.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I feel like I would have been fake injuries.
If the doctor pulled me out, I'd be like, dang.
I would have been like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack.
I was like, hey,
out of there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Budapest, how was that?
It's awesome, dude. Budapest is sick. I did not know that.
Like, I've heard awesome things about Budapest.
Like, David and Casey were like, you're gonna love it. It's like seriously nice, and it was so nice, and it was a great first experience, I think, for Levi to be over there, and all those kids really, like, because I've been to a couple places like Minsk, Belarus, or like Ukraine, like, and you're like eating boiled chicken and eggs every day, and it's like, I just want a piece of fruit or something. Like, I sustain myself off beef jerky while you're there, or you're just like doing like snacks the whole time. And it's so, like, we were there and like the food was like good, like really good. And
what was your favorite thing?
They did like I'll never forget it. They did like a couscous, like a honey mustard couscous with a duck, like a duck gravy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was. I'm not kidding when I tell you it was incredible. Like the food was incredible, and
We
just
might
the
need to go
experience.
cover one of these events overseas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Budapest is awesome.
I think so.
I think we should go do a live episode of the podcast.
I'm just gonna have some guys go wrestle over there.
Yeah, the cadet tournament's awesome too. Like it was really cool. Like my only thing with it against UWW is 2-minute periods. Like I think that's
not a wrestling match.
No, it's like hey, that's one takedown.
So I was out at Fargo, and there was I was out at Fargo, and there'd be like a minute left in like one of the cadet matches, or 16U, and it'd be a highly contested match, a lot of back and forth, and there's a minute left, and I would tap the person on the shoulder next to me, and I'd be like, first period in the college match just ended.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much it. Like it's 4 minutes is not a wrestling match.
And I mean, obviously Budapest was cool and stuff, but I still left, and I was like still pissed for like 72 hours on the way home, just because I'm
sure you were. What do you think about that call? What do you think about that call? That was ridiculous.
I don't really tweet too much, but I was like, had a tweet made up, and I was like at UWW, and I'm like,
let it rip.
Think about it. Don't
about to let the big dog eat. About to let the big dog eat.
I was so mad, dude. I was just like, the referee wouldn't look at me, and I'm like, what happened? Like, tell me what happened. And obviously, like most of them, like they don't like speak English, and I'm just like, explain it. I'm like, I'm yelling at a dude who definitely can't. Like, even if he could explain it to me, he probably wouldn't, but he doesn't have the ability to do so, anyways. And I'm like, I was just so mad.
What do you do? Just let it go then? Like,
no, I mean, I'm gonna be mad about it for like the next 30 years, but it's fine.
No, but I mean,
that's all. Just,
but I mean, like when you're there, do you just like?
Yeah. I like tried asking people. I tried to I just kept grabbing random referees, and I was like, what happened? And it's just like nothing, like blank stare. I'm like, dude, I might lose my mind.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, because like most of our M2 kids never really see me get too worked up. And, like I don't generally, like I get mad sometimes. What are you talking about? You never see me mad. A couple times. Our kids don't.
As he gets angry with you.
Our kids don't. The M2 kids don't see me get like.
Are you serious? You've never seen me get mad before.
But like I'm talking like rage level 11, and Levi was just like.
I've seen it like twice, maybe.
Yeah, Levi was like couldn't. He was like, oh my gosh, and He's
like Gold Bear, calm down, buddy.
Yeah, he was like, Coach Eric, like, and he has like, I mean, he's an incredible kid, so he has like actual perspective on it.
Levi's awesome, yeah.
And I'm like a 13-year-old, like, why did that happen? I'm like, bro.
That's me too. Like if I'm like whenever I'd be coaching with them too, and like a bad call would happen, I would like just look at the ref and be like, you're bad at your job, pretty much. And then like the kids would be like, hey, like calm down, man. I'm like, no, like this guy sucks. Like that was a terrible call.
Youth referees, man, they'll and I feel bad, because I mean it's not like
they're trying their best. They're trying their best sometimes.
And I'm just like, oh, you are not good at this. You should do something else next weekend.
I'm pretty sure you did tell a ref that at the Olympic Club duels in State College.
Yeah, Ultimate Duels. I definitely told
Ultimate Duels. Ultimate Duels. That's what I was going. He told this like young like girl referee that she needed to do something else.
I did. I absolutely did. And I found her and I apologized. I felt bad about it. Well,
but you should still look into it. But you should still look into another field. But
I was wrong. I'm sorry, but I do stand by the career recommendation.
Yeah.
Yes. Like maybe we move into something else. Yeah, it was, like, cause it's like their lack of experience, and it's not really on them. And freestyle is hard to call, right? It just period, right? It's like so almost arbitrary at points. But yeah, that one was a little different. It was time.
We had a little event over last weekend on Sunday. Just had our guys get some matches in, and we had referees there, and there was one call that was absolutely just brutal, right? One of our guys got in a leg, like kid sat to his butt, guy had a body lock, he wrapped the arm and rolled him. Okay, clearly two for the guy that has the leg, right?
Yeah.
And they gave the guy on his butt too. And like it's a just a random match. Like I'm not trying to challenge the call or anything like that, but like in between periods, I was just so curious as to what they saw, because it was like 2 offered, 2 confirmed. Like no one even offered 2 for our guy. And I went up and I was like, hey, I'm just curious. And the guy's like, that's not how you approach the table. And I was like, all right. And he's like, you should ask. He's like, go back, ask us if we would reconsider the call. And I was like, that's not what I'm trying to. He's like, go back, ask if we could reconsider the call.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right. So, and I was like, hey, would you guys reconsider that call? He's like, yeah, we'll talk about it. I was like, okay. And the referees, all 3 of them got together in their little group for about 2 seconds. And then they disbanded. And then he goes, we decided that the wrestler stopped your wrestler's motion, reached through his legs, and then rolled him through. And then I said, sir, he didn't reach through his legs. He wrapped his arm. You might need some glasses, because I don't know what you
Did
saw,
you say that?
but
Did you say you need glasses?
yes, I did. But like,
I love it.
That is what they saw. If that's what they saw, that's what they saw. And like, you know, I think our guy ended up beating that dude up pretty good. But like, just I don't know. Like sometimes, you know, the referees at the little local things like don't really nail it, but they are doing their best.
Yeah, you can get so mad about that, right? Like it's like so easy to just be like, and then sometimes too, like they're confident in their calls, and I think that's what gets me. I'm like, you're wrong. Like, but it's not like they're just trying to do their best.
I don't want to tell the story on air because I don't think I can, but I'll tell you guys afterwards. Somebody that like basically got into a spat with the referee, and the referee was like totally wrong and just wanted to die in a sword. End up complaining about this guy to USA Wrestling, complaining to Safe Sport, filing a violation. Like it can get nuts. Like it can get absolutely nuts with some. Like I've seen some of these referees, even on like on the message boards that they'll, or like on Facebook or in a group, they'll chime in like, well, if you think it's so easy, you'd do it. Or, you know what?
I don't want to.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to be a referee, because being a referee isn't like, you got to make tough calls. It's not
being a referee in our wrestling room is terrible, and I hate it.
Oh yeah, it's hard to ref practice matches. Like I don't think I would do a great job reffing.
It's
unless
awful.
I just do it all the time. Yeah,
it's awful because then like guys
you made the wrong. Every time I would get scored on, you would make the wrong call.
That's what I'm saying. And then people like raising their voice to you, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like, all right, if you want to argue with me or you guys don't agree on something, or like it'll be like a crazy match. Say like Nolf and David are wrestling. It's like 8-8, and I'm like, what just happened? Like I'm like trying to keep score in my head, keep time, and then also make calls on there. I'm like, this is terrible.
Oh, you'd have me or Varner as a side ref, and we also wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'd like look at them, and they're like, like what?
and then Mark's offering points for the wrong person.
Dude, I yelled at Mark McKnight so many times in practice matches. Like I kind of don't feel. I feel bad about it at times, but I don't feel that bad because he's a bad referee.
I think me and Beck saw wrestling, and I forget who was reffing. Oh, Brady was reffing, and he didn't call like any. And me and Beck were both competing like very soon after this, and he didn't like call any passives or anything like that, and both of us were just like pissed off the entire time. Like I saw Beck get mad.
That's wild.
Which actually doesn't happen.
By the way, how much does that suck?
Dude, that's bullshit. Like,
NLWC for those
straight up bullshit. Like they're like good friends.
Yeah.
They hang out all the time.
Like best friends. I think they live together.
Yeah. And they're wrestling first round of the Olympics. And they wrestled first round of 2019 Worlds too.
NLWC versus NLWC first round of the Olympics tonight.
It sucks. It's like, I don't know. Obviously, there's nothing you can do about it then, but that's part of like the deal when you start having guys come in the room like that. It can happen, but it like to happen 2 years in a row. Like, what are we doing here?
I'll read a text. So I was just chit chatting with Gomez's training partner that he brought out there last night because he asked me a question, and then I asked him what he thought about. I said, "How do you think about Beck and Franklin round one?" He said, "It is what it is, bro. Someone got to win the bracket. Everyone has to be eliminated. That has to be the mindset." I was like, "You're right, but also
you're not wrong.
You're definitely not wrong, but also, buddy, like that's tough. That's just a tough look."
It sucks. It's like it's like you do all this stuff to be like great, and like they're using each other to get better at wrestling, and then it's like, let's see who's better when it matters most, the thing you've been training for. And like Franklin's luck at the Olympics
has been piss poor.
Yeah,
we watched. I went back and watched his match against Uzbek in 2016, and that was so bad. If you haven't watched that match, go watch Franklin Gomez against Uzbek in 2016 at the Olympics, and then I'm
gonna watch that.
You'll wonder why Cunningham wasn't taking his clothes off and rioting on the side of the mat, because like that was the same guy that the Mongolians did that against. It was the same.
It was the same referee.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't the same referee.
It was the same.
Right?
It was against Uzbek, right?
Yeah, it was against the Uzbek, and it was the same wrestler.
Yeah, same wrestler. So,
yeah,
who knows?
Bad deal. Bad deal, man. That's like international. Like, I mean, you hate to think something nefarious is going on, but at the same time, like I've seen too much to not think that.
Yeah.
Like even at Cadet. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was gonna say I saw a design concept for a T-shirt that said, in quotes, "Random draws don't exist." I think that needs to be out to the masses.
Well, that, and just like even like Cadet Worlds, like we got. No, I wouldn't say we got calls on the first day. Like those guys, they wrestled really well, but I would say like there wasn't anything like that went against us. And then the second day, like Levi's day, I felt like there was a bunch of calls that were like, "Well, that's not right," but. Just I feel like sometimes they correct themselves if it feels like people are getting too many calls.
Yeah, they make makeup calls, and like American refs do that too.
Yeah,
like I have I was talking about it with Grant Leith the other day. If you think about this, so Mark Hall's NCAA finals match against Bo Jordan, where
that was a takedown.
No, I don't think it was, but
really?
They got in a very similar position in the dual meet the next year, and Bo was on his hip, but Mark had his leg still, and they gave Bo Jordan 2. And I was like, oh, that's a makeup call.
Trying to think. I'll have to go back and watch it.
You have to go back and watch it. Both were very, very close. Like, could go either way. But just like things like that, like it happens.
It does. I mean, you'd like to think that those things don't happen, but I mean, people do. They're still human beings, right? Like you're gonna try and do that stuff.
Well, that's what some of the people are saying about the Helen match. Like, unfortunately, you put in the ref's hands, right or wrong. You got to try to not put it in their hands. Like neither Helen nor her opponent could score points, and unfortunately, it was 2-1 with 3 passivity points. And what can you do?
It's how it goes. Like it sucks, like because you hope it's called straight up, but at the same time, like somebody has to win, and someone's not going to feel good about it, especially if there's no scores, right? If you're not like going, like if 2 people are like, oh, shot clock point, like the second person's gonna be winning. So it's like you gotta be able to go score.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, how do you think our guys starting today are gonna do? We got Dake, Jacarra, and then Gable. I think Gable's
got a tough draw. I think he can get it done, but he's got to.
I think Agul has a tough draw. I think the Iranian at 74 has a tough draw too. And then I think whoever happens to wrestle Jacarra, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I was talking to people about it. Like taking Kyle Dake down at this point, like in his career, it just seems beyond difficult. Like just almost impossible. Just trying to, you get to his legs, and that's when like A, just getting to his legs, and then B, you get to his legs, and then what? Like, and then he's
on the offense. He's on the offense.
It gets very scary, right? He stands up with you, and then you like have to sprawl, and then you're extended, and then you're trying to crawl back in. So that's exhausting, on top of like also your threshold of stress is just through the roof.
Right. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This dude's gonna bomb me. Yeah, this dude's gonna bomb me. Yeah. No, I have a hard time seeing him losing. I mean,
and then Gable, I don't know. I've been saying it since the trials. Like, I don't know if I'm like spin zoning myself into it, but I'm just like, he might tech everybody.
He's at
He
such
is,
a different level. It's going to be so interesting to see.
And I've heard a lot of other, good wrestlers that have been around for a long time saying that they've never seen a heavyweight like this guy before.
the pressure release that he has, like where he's like pressure and then he's snapping or he's like faking off of it. I mean,
His first step is so quick too, man.
Yeah, like looking back on my career, like I don't know that I would like, I definitely wouldn't have been able to keep up with that because that's so hard to like stop, especially you get like big, right? Like you're on a size level. It's like you start pushing back, right? These are like guys who squat 500-600 pounds and they're just freaks and they're gigantic. And it's like you're pushing and you're pulling and you're faking. And it's like Gable's like 6'5", but he's also like 30 years old, like over 30. Right?
That's why I think Gable's going to get him with the gas tank, and where Gable's energy is right now is just, he doesn't break a sweat wrestling some of these guys.
It'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. I'm excited to see that. Like, I'm very, very excited. Like the heavyweights and too, like I was hoping he'd have Petroshavili instead of Akul, just because Petroshavili takes a lot of, he'll shoot a ton, but they're not especially like good shots. So like those shots, I mean, that's what Gable's good at, running the corner off a bad shot. So good at it. And it's so,
I'm so intrigued, man.
Yeah, I am too. Like I'm very, very excited to see him compete and what that looks like against some of these higher level heavyweights, which not to say Gwiz isn't, right? Gwiz is obviously 2-time world bronze medalist, and it'll be crazy to see.
Gable's just such a unique wrestler. Like there's talented wrestlers, no doubt, all across this country on teams, everything, but just his uniqueness, like a heavyweight doing backflips after matches to entertain the crowd. Like he's just such a unique character, and he dominates everybody. Like he widens the gap so much that now you got to wonder what he's going to do on a world stage like this, where you're beating guys like Gwiz who are world bronze medalists, and these guys are there and better. So I can't wait. It's gonna be exciting.
I'm excited to watch Thomas Gilman tonight too.
Me too. I think I'm most pumped for that right now.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern tonight.
It's just gonna be awesome to
7 p.m.
Pacific time.
Pacific.
He's gonna come out
specific time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Specific.
Specific.
What time is it for you? 7 p.m. for you?
Specific time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That'll be nice.
Yeah, but want to hear the thing that sucks though is that you guys can watch the next session at like 5-6 a.m. For us, it's 2-3 a.m. That's kind of.
It wasn't that bad last night. Like the first round started at 10 and was over by like 12:15 in the morning. Then you sleep for 5 hours, get up at 5:15, and the day starts. I don't like staying up, but this I will stay up till midnight for. That ain't bad.
Yeah, you got to watch the troops.
Yeah.
You got.
One more thing I want to tell you guys about before we start to wrap this up.
Tell him, Justin.
Eric, do you know about UCAN?
I know a little bit about UCAN. Best.
You can learn more about it.
Yeah.
So best electrolytes in the game, right?
Yes.
So they have a super starch. So an important way to optimize your athletic performance and fitness is to eat and fuel foods that help regulate blood sugar. It's key for metabolism to work effectively. Most sports energy products are filled with sugar or fast carbs to give you a quick flash of energy that's short-lived. Like the amino energy, I'm off it. It's no good. This stuff is amazing. They have a
you're done with amino energy.
Yeah, I'm phasing it out. So like if I was taking it twice a day every day, I'm weaning off. Yeah, I was taking it twice a day.
I'm more of a cold turkey guy.
Yeah. Well, what I do is like on a day like this would be an excuse of a day where it's like I slept less than I would have liked to. It's a long day, gonna be a long night. Maybe I'll take the quick hit like a drug to do the podcast, to do this, but UCAN sustains you through the day. You don't need those spikes. And this super starch stuff is great. It's great. I know I've called it a supplement before because that's how I view it in my head, but it's really not. It's just nutrition. It's really good for you. Kassar turned me on to it initially. He swears by it. It's everywhere. So if you guys want to try some, go to ucan.co/Cenzo and save 20% off with the promo code of the show. Cenzo, CENZO. Get 20% off. Easy. And I'm pretty sure free shipping. Definitely go to UCAN. This energy and protein is delicious in shakes. Delicious.
Oh, it's their chocolate protein powder is actually so freaking good. Yeah.
Well, did you see the flavor this one is?
I did not. What is
that
it?
mint? Is that a mint chocolate?
No, cookies and cream.
Oh, I bet that's awesome.
So now this is empty, but I keep it as the prop. I got to get more.
Oh yeah. Hey, when's that rapid fire coming in?
I know. I gotta. Yeah, we gotta.
No free ads.
Yeah, no free ads.
No
All right,
free ads.
Eric. So prediction. Give me your prediction. I want to say give me a Dake prediction. I also want a Bexot and Gomez prediction, but I know they're both NLWC. That's tricky. So maybe just give me a Dake prediction. And Gable and Jacarra.
I think Dake is just. I think he's gonna do really, really well. I think his first match, I think he'll have close matches, but it doesn't really matter because his shutdown defense is so good, right? It's so hard to get to his legs, and you get there, like I was saying, and then it's from there, that's when the real battle begins, right? You get to his legs and you're like, how am I gonna finish this now? So
I don't think his first two matches are gonna be close.
No, I mean I could definitely see him beating up the Iranian that he has first round.
I think it'll be. I think for Dake it'll be Tech close match with Chamizo, and then the Sidakov match if it's him Sidakov in the finals. I don't know how I see that one going. I think Dake beats Sidakov.
It'll be boring. I think it'll be boring.
I do too. I think they're both just
I
gonna.
think it'll also be boring.
I think they're just gonna both sit back and.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it'll be. Like if he tries to, but when Dake goes and scores too, like he's going to shoot, it's like
his go is really good.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think we see him stick to what he does best, though, and he doesn't. And his defense is what he does best, right? So, and obviously he has the offense to go do stuff. He does everything the best, right? That's why he's the guy, and that's why he's freaking one of the best dudes in the world. Hopefully, the best at the end of this week. So, and then Gable, I mean,
we already heard your prediction.
Yeah, I think he's gonna attack everybody, and I'm dead serious when I say that. Like, I just don't really see like the way he's wrestling right now, and just his progression and trajectory since just even the NCAA tournament, like the leaps and bounds, right? Like NCAAs to to the Olympic team trials, it was just like he was crazy. He looked like a even better wrestler, you know. So, and then Jacarra, returning world silver medalist, right?
World
Something
champ.
like that.
I think
world champ. Yeah. So I think she has a great weekend too. And I'd love to see her go score, right? I like watching her wrestle. I really do. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch that. So
I haven't watched a ton of women's wrestling, and I'm starting to get into it more and more. I think I started a lot more so, this past year, over the past 6 months or so. And like I was at a Fargo, and I was literally having to learn the kids that like we want, right? I haven't watched high school wrestling in 6 years since I was in it, and I was absolutely clueless. I knew zero. And like the women, like same type of thing. I'm trying to learn as much as I can as I watch. And, I watched a lot of the trials and stuff like that too. But like like they're just getting better and better, and she's very good. I've watched a few of her matches. She's very good. Like I don't see really any of these. Like I think it's going to be kind of a Tamara situation.
What
I
about?
really do. I don't know about the competition a ton. I know that you see a lot of the girls brackets, they all have good accolades too, because to qualify for this tournament, like you gotta have some good accolades. So there's not a ton of slouches, but I think she might be that good. We'll see.
What about an unbiased score prediction for David Taylor Yazdani, which is tomorrow at like 7 a.m.
10-0 within the first 30 seconds.
That'd be nice. Then I could take a deep breath and relax for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 8-4, 9-6.
I think 6-4 was my number.
Yeah, I got something close to that too. I think it'll just be. I think Yazdani's going to last a little longer. I think he's going to be able to go harder for a little bit longer in this one than the previous matches, but I think David gets it done second period.
Yeah, if Yazdani comes out firing at all, if he comes out like shooting on David, like trying to get to his legs, which he generally doesn't do, but if we see something, if he tries to change like tactics or something like that, then I think it plays into David really, really well. Because when you get to his legs, I mean, same thing as Dake. It's just a different type of danger for David. Because he's threatening.
I'm
People
curious.
People forget he's awesome at scrambling and great at defending, really good at scoring when guys are in on his legs.
Yeah, I mean, we have an entire club full of kids that are like
that are really good at it. Really good at that.
Like, just it's wild to see our kids be comfortable with other kids and on their legs, and we're working on it all the time. But I mean, that's something David does a lot with them, and so you know, if he's doing it, they're good at it.
How are the M2 boys?
Killing it, man. We had a group of about 12 last night for the little kids. But tonight we have our high school practice, so go and rock that one. So hopefully we get some more kids, and you know, but it's good for them to take some time. But I mean, they're getting better. We had a pretty good Fargo. No freestyle champs, which kind of broke me a little bit. I was very, very frustrated.
Right.
But what are you gonna do? We had I think we had 12 All-Americans in the club total. So
that's pretty
exciting.
Awesome. I thought they wrestled well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was really excited about Colby Franklin, because you know, it's like his first time back on the, you know, he wrestled at Northeast Regional, but he was coming back from injury and surgery and stuff. So getting him back and getting him competing was, and to have some of the wins he had, and then, you know, be so close to the finals and against Shoemate there, lose 10-10. You know, I'm excited.
That was a heck of a match too.
Dude,
he came back. I was standing on Matt's side watching that. Colby Franklin's an awesome kid, man.
He's a freaking dog. Yeah, man. So we're getting there, man. We're getting, some of our little kids are getting better right now, and some of our older kids are improving. So it's fun. It's fun.
Very cool. How about the NLWC? How those fellas doing?
Good, man. So trying to figure out stuff for trying to do some more. So I do all of our ROKFIN cards. So trying to figure out a date for another card and make it compelling, and try and figure out how we can have fans and where to do it, all that stuff. So working through all that stuff and give people opportunities.
Bo was saying he wants to fight on a ROKFIN card.
Yeah. I mean, and so like that, we want to do that, but also like trying to get like you know, some of this fight stuff set up it gets a little complicated, right?
I can
like
imagine.
You're like talking licensing through the state. So we are working through some of that stuff, trying to figure it out so we can have fights. We can do that kind of stuff. You know, and also just trying to make it all work and working through that. So hopefully we get there and we get to see old Bo Nickel KO somebody. We get to see Anthony
Luke Gardner
KO somebody.
I want Bo Nickel versus Luke Gardner.
I will fight Luke Gardner on one of those cards.
I will fight Luke Gardner at any point in time. Doesn't need to be on a card.
If I catch that dude on the street,
it's on site.
By the way, speaking of ROKFIN, what happened to the Golden Bear draft show? Are we gonna get any more of those?
That's what I've been saying, dude.
We just RIP'd it a little bit, man. It got turned into an Olympic year all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
It was like it was crazy. So, you know, trying to do a billion different things and stuff. So I mean, maybe we'll bring it back. Try and bring it back. It's hard, man. It's hard doing this stuff. Like you guys do the podcast, you know, so often. It's like, so then you get to wrestling every week, and I'm like trying to wrestle, you know, our guys and trying to coach, and then trying to do M2, and then trying to do it, you know, all the stuff for ROKFIN, and you know,
that's what's happening now. Trying to get guests lined up with Cenzo moving to California and dealing with all of his coaching responsibilities. We were just talking about it before we
had to settle for you, man.
On our draft
I keep saying that, but like I'm
it's hurtful, but I like it. It keeps me on my toes and keeps me humble.
You know, if to people listening, I'm joking, by the way. We just decided to do this episode like today, and then Thompson was the first person I called, actually. So because you know, you're a good chat, pal. But
have you changed out there? Have you been correcting people for me with the name situation in California, since I'm not there to do it?
No. Yeah, so Thompson used to correct people whenever they would say my name correctly and say it's Vincenzo, actually. Like we would be at tournaments and someone would be like, oh, Cenzo, and he would go Cenzo.
It does work as a promo code at UCAN and Manscaped. It does not work in person, face to face.
It does not work in person.
Oh, Vincenzo.
I can assure you that it doesn't work in person.
And I'll try to like say it around people, so then they call him that, and I really, really enjoy that. and I miss that. So if I ever get to California, I'll just administrators, people walking on the street wearing wrestling shirts. I'll make sure I let them know.
I appreciate that, man. Always looking out for me.
I think maybe we'll need to coordinate like a Golden Bear draft show at like NCAA's or somewhere we all go to. I don't know what Penn State and Stanford go to. I don't think there's literally anything.
Probably the next ROKFIN card that they have.
How about Penn State versus Stanford on the ROKFIN card?
Let's do it.
NLWC versus Stanford RTC. I'm here for that.
Let's do it. You guys building up yet? Getting some guys. You guys are getting on it.
I saw Tyler Berger was headed out there.
He'll be in tonight. Yeah.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah, it is. So like that's that's one of the, the big goals that we have is over next year. We're already bringing in a lot of money, so like that'll be good for us to get more athletes in. And then I think this year is just kind of like a year we get a few guys in. And I think next summer then we'll kind of start hammering it a little bit more. But yeah, we have a lot of good things going right now. I'm pretty excited. I really am.
You should be, dude. It's awesome. It's awesome that you save the program and then you freaking go full steam ahead right back at it.
I did save the program.
You personally, boots on the ground.
I am going full steam ahead. Yeah, I did.
Well, you were saying in Fargo, like you guys were like, I don't want to say the it thing or the trending thing, but like it is such a powerhouse team, and there is so much like excitement around what Stanford's going to do next year.
Yeah, and it's freaking Stanford, like who doesn't want to go to Stanford?
Right.
How many times have you sang the song "Going Back to Cali"?
I haven't because I haven't had to come back yet.
He's just been.
I mean,
actually, I
went to Fargo.
I went to Fargo, so I had to come. And I actually was singing going back to Cali in the airport.
I did see you up in like North California with the Redwoods or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a little camp up there.
Flexing picture.
Yeah, I had to put my Mr. Fast Twitch on for a hot minute there.
Mr. Fast Twitch.
That's our boy, Mr. Fast Twitch.
That was a good podcast.
We need to bring him back. We need to do round two. We need to do round two with Fast Twitch. He's the man.
We hung up like as soon as we got done, and Cenzo and I were like, he doesn't have an off switch. Like that's really him. He doesn't turn it on and off. Like he's just so genuinely him. Love him or don't, but that's him.
Did you see his Instagram post today?
With the sunglasses and the music and the
yeah.
He's one of a kind.
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible. It's good stuff. I enjoy it.
It's good for wrestling.
Is he going heavyweight next year?
I don't think so.
I heard he's going heavy. That would be something.
I thought he brought it up to us. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or not, but I thought he mentioned
with those Italian genetics, he can get that weight up or down however he wants.
Lasagna Christmas Day, just get it going, baby.
Yeah, I don't see any other reason.
Yeah. All right, guys. Any last words for Baschamania episode 129?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. It's cool.
I'm sure it will not be the last time. You're a great guy to have on the show.
Yeah.
Do what I can.
All I got is go cheer on the US of A, and let's go.
Boys and girls.
Let's go.
Yeah. And if you want to see Eric's draft show, go to ROKFIN.com/NLWC. Great content.
I'm on there also.
Cenzo's on there. They also did some making coffee with Zane, some really cool stuff. And obviously stay tuned for the ROKFIN cards coming up. Make sure you're following Stanford Wrestling. Badger, Cenzo, and the rest of the crew for apparel because we're all dying for it.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, that's Baschamania.
Just keep asking. All right, later.
All right, guys.
See you guys.
Later.
And the beat goes on.